Alrighty, folks, it is Friday, August 8th, 2025. We're now 5-0 in our last 5 crowd pleaser teasers on my premium page. And the good news is I've got another crowd pleaser teaser going off here today for Friday. That play's already posted and ready for access. And if you sign up for my crowd pleaser teaser here today, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. It's going to be included with your membership. Of course, if you want to access all of my premium selections, I'll tell you how to do that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my free pick video here today for Friday, August 8th, 2025. Happy Friday to you. The weekend's finally here. Congratulations, you made it. Of course, if you're joining me for the first time here today, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And once again, if you want to access all of my premium selections, you may want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive Gold Club membership. Gold Club members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. I currently have over 2,600 members who are signed up and active on my premium page as of right now. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into some free content. Going to start off with the Reds at the Pirates, 6:40 Eastern first pitch. Pittsburgh's minus $1.20, totals 8.5. Mitch Keller for the Pirates, Chase Burns for Cincinnati. And even though Burns has had his fair share of problems, the Reds do tend to pitch pretty well on the road. They are in the top 10 in fewest runs allowed in their travels. Of course, as a staff, the Reds are limiting opposing sluggers to just 7.7 hits a game. And that could mean bad news for Pirates fans. These guys have arguably the worst lineup in Major League Baseball. They're averaging just 3.5 runs a game at the plate. Really struggled against the Reds in recent gatherings. The Bucks have averaged just 2.3 runs a game in their last 10 meetings with Cincinnati. 3 out of the Reds' last 4 on the road stayed under the total. 8-2 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Reds plus $1. Under 8.5. Next game, A's, O's, 7:05 East. Both clubs are minus $1.10, pretty much a coin flip, totals 9. Tomo Sagano for Baltimore, JT Ginn for the A's. And both starters with their fair share of struggles this year, both with ERAs in the 4s, both squads with troubles in the bullpen as well. Baltimore's allowing 9.5 hits a game at Camden Yards. The A's are in the bottom 3 in runs allowed per contest. Now, that's the bad news. Well, the good news is both lineups do have the ability to hit the baseball. The A's are currently in the top 10 in hits per contest. Nicholas Kurtz with 23 homers, OPS of 1028. And Tyler Soderstrom with 21 homers, club leader in runs batted in. Meanwhile, Baltimore saw overs in 3 out of their last 4 at home. They're actually averaging over 5.2 runs a game in their own stadium. I like the over 9. Astros, Yankees, 7:05 East. Houston's $1.20, totals 8.5. Hunter Brown for Houston, Cam Schlittler for New York. And even though the Bombers have hit a bit of a rough patch, they're still playing their best baseball at Yankee Stadium. They've got a .657 win percentage against American League opponents at home. And Yankee Stadium's been a tough place to hit at this season. The Pinstripers allowed just 7.1 hits a game in the Bronx. And they're facing a Houston club who actually took the loss in 4 out of their last 6. Having a tough time getting the W on the road this year. They've got a .428 win percentage against American League opponents away from home. And out of their last 10 contests against the Yankees, Houston's really struggled at the plate. They averaged just 2.9 runs a game during that time frame. Of course, no real surprise, the under cashed in 70% of those head-to-head meetings. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Of course, the Yankees, with unders in nearly 60% of their contests in the Bronx this year, Give me the Yankees plus $1, under 8.5. All right, next game, Angels-Tigers, 7:10 Eastern start. Detroit's minus 345, total 7.5. Tarek Skubal for the Tigers, Kyle Hendricks for Los Angeles. Now, Hendricks is just 6-8 on the year, ERA of 4.59. And these Angel pitchers have certainly had some control issues. They're walking more batters a game than any other team, bottom 5 in hits allowed. And they're facing a Detroit squad who's done a nice job at Comerica Park. They're 37-23 in their own stadium, top 10 run producing team. Riley Green, 26 homers, 84 RBIs. Spencer Torkelson, 24 homers, OPS in the 800s. 6 out of the Tigers' last 7 at Comerica Park got over the total. Angel games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. I like the Tigers minus 1.5, over 7.5 runs. Marlins Braves, 7:15 East. Atlanta's $1.20, totals 8. Bryce Elder for the Braves, Edward Cabrera for Miami. Now the Marlins got the W in 6 out of their last 9. Top 5 run producing team in their travels. As a matter of fact, the Fish are averaging 9.2 hits a game when they bat first. Kyle Stowers, 25 homers, 71 RBIs. Xavier Edwards with 19 stolen bases. On-base percentage of .361. And they're facing an Atlanta squad who lost 6 out of their last 9. They have a losing record at Truist Park. Starting pitcher Bryce Elder having a down year. 4-8 record, ERA of 6.03. Of course, 3 out of the Braves' last 4 home games did get over the total. 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Meanwhile, Miami games went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 themselves. I like Marlins plus $1, over 8. Guardians White Sox, 7:40 East. Cleveland's $1.60, totals 9. Tanner Bybee for the Guardians, Aaron Savali for Chicago. Now Savali's just 3-6 on the year, not getting a ton of run support. Chicago averages just 3.8 runs a game, bottom 3 in hits per contest. And they're facing a Cleveland pitching staff who tends to pitch well while traveling. Cleveland's in the top 5 and fewest runs allowed on the road. It's actually just 7.6 hits a game they allow in their travels. And starting pitcher Tanner Bybee's punched out 112 batters and has a 1.26 whip. 3 out of the Guardians' last 4 road games stayed under the total. 61% of their road games this year stayed under the number. I like the Guardians minus 160, under 9. Phillies Rangers, 8:05 East. Philadelphia's $1.30, totals 8. Christopher Sanchez for the Fightins. Merrill Kelly for Texas. Now, Kelly's 9-6 overall in the year. Most of that body of work was with Arizona. The righty also comes into today's matchup with an ERA of 3.22. And listen, he's a great addition to an already stacked staff of Texas pitchers. The Rangers allowed just 2.7 runs a game at Globe Life Field. And out of their last 10 meetings with Philadelphia, they've held the Fightins to just 3.9 runs a game. Now, Ranger games have gone 67% to the under in their own building this year. Philly's seen 64% of their contests on the road stay under the line themselves. I like the Rangers plus $1.10, under 8. Royals Twins, 8:10 East. Minnesota, $1.35, totals 9. Joe Ryan for the Twins. Seth Lugo for Kansas City. And despite a pretty strong year out of Lugo, the Royals do have a losing record away from home. It's actually a .307 win percentage in their divisional road games. And most of that shittiness is on the bats. The Royals average just 3.6 runs a game, dead last in walks per contest at the plate. They're facing a Minnesota pitching staff who walks fewer batters a game than any other team. Of course, the Twins got the W in 3 out of their last 4 ball games. They do have a winning record at Target Field. And they should be in good hands with Joe Ryan on the mound. 2.83 ERA, .93 whip. The righty's punched out 141 batters and currently has a 10-5 record on the year. Minnesota's seen 70% of their divisional home games stay under the total. KC with unders in 63% of their contests against AL Central foes. Give me the Twins minus 135, under 9. Mets Brewers 8-10 East. Milwaukee's $1.25, totals 8. Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers. Kodai Senga for New York. And despite some pretty good stuff out of Senga, the Mets have really struggled over the past few weeks. They're currently on a 4-game skid, losers of 8 out of their last 9. Of course, at the plate, the Mets have had all kinds of problems on the road. They're in the bottom 10 in hits per contest in their travels. And they're facing a Brewers pitching staff who's definitely been tough to hit against at American Family Field. Milwaukee's allowing just 3.6 runs a game at home, top 3 in strikeouts per game in their own building. And Brandon Woodruff's looked pretty good through a handful of, actually looked very good through a handful of outings. It's a 3-0 record for Woodruff, ERA of 2.22. The righties punched out 37 batters in just 28-plus innings, whip of just .64. Now, total-wise, 3 out of the Mets' last 4 road games stayed under the number, 60% to the under in their last 10 at any location. I like the Brewers minus $1.25, under 8. Cubs Cardinals 8-15 East. Chicago's $1.45, totals 8.5. Matthew Boyd for the Cubs. Michael McGreevy for St. Louis. Now, Greaves comes into today's matchup with an ERA in the 5s. Cards with losses in 5 out of their last 8. St. Louis also has a losing record against NL Central competition. Pitching's definitely been a little bit shaky at Busch Stadium this year. The Cards are currently in the bottom 10 in hits allowed at home. Second fewest strikeouts in all of Major League Baseball. And they're facing a Cubbies lineup who loves to pound the ball. 9.4 hits a game on the road, top 3 run-scoring lineup. Seiya Suzuki, 27 homers, 84 RBI. Pete Crow Armstrong, 27 homers, OPS of 840. And out of the Cubs' last 10 gatherings with the Cardinals, they've really hit St. Louis pitching well. The Cubbies averaged 6.4 runs a game during that time frame. So once again, if you're into historical trends, certainly want to think about that one there. And no real surprise here, the over cashed in 70% of those head-to-head meetings I just mentioned. I like the Cubs minus 145, over 8.5. Red Sox Padres 940 East. San Diego's $1.85, totals 8. Nick Pivetta for San Diego. Walker Buehler for Boston. And even though Buehler's having a bit of a tough year, he does have a handful of wins on the season. He does not have a losing record. And out of the Bo Sox last 8 ball games, they got the W in all of those contests except for one. And you can definitely thank the bats for that. The Bo Sox do have a top 3 hit-producing lineup. Romy Gonzalez, OPS of 912. Alex Bregman, OPS in the 900s himself. And they're facing a Padres team who's definitely struggled on the run line in their interleague games. San Diego's covering in just 39% of their contests against the American League. Now, total-wise, the Red Sox last 3 straight on the road got over the total. 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. I like the Red Sox plus 1.5, over 8. Rockies, Diamondbacks, 940 Eastern start. Arizona's minus 245, totals 9. Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. Austin Gomber for Colorado. And Gomber's still in search of his first win of 2025. He's 0-5 with an ERA of 6.18. Of course, as a staff, the Rockies have been the worst pitching staff in all of Major League Baseball. They're allowing more runs a game than any other team, dead last in strikeouts. And no real surprise, the Rockies are allowing nearly 11 hits a game. And they're facing an Arizona club who walks a bunch, doesn't strike out a whole lot, and they rank in the top 10 in runs per game. Ketel Marte, 21 homers, OPS of 926. Corbin Carroll, 23 homers, OPS of 869. And out of Arizona's last 10 gatherings with Colorado, they averaged double-digit hits a game. Now, total-wise, Rockies games went 8-2 to the over in their last 10. I like the Diamondbacks -1.5 over 9. Rays Mariners 9:40 Eastern start. Seattle's $1.30, totals 8. Luis Castillo for the M's. Drew Rasmussen for Tampa Bay. Now Raz is 9-5 with an ERA of 2.81. The righties also got a stingy 1.02 whip. Of course, as a staff, the Rays have definitely thrown well in their travels. They're allowing just 7.5 hits a game on the road. And they're facing a Mariner club who actually does not hit well in their own building. Mariners are averaging just 7.2 hits a game in front of their home crowd. When it comes to making contact, well, the M's are in the bottom 5 in strikeouts per game in the box. 6 out of the Mariners' last 10 ball games stayed under the total. Rays games went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. I like the Rays plus $1.10, under 8. Blue Jays Dodgers 10-10 East. LA's $1.45, totals 9. Clayton Kershaw for Los Angeles. Max Scherzer for Toronto. Now, Scherzer comes into today's contest with an ERA of 4.39. Toronto's pitching staff tends to allow their fair share of runs. Toronto's in the bottom 10 in runs allowed per contest, and they're facing a Dodger team who's 36-23 at home. They're actually amongst the highest run-scoring teams in the game. Shohei Ohtani, 39 homers, 75 RBI. Will Smith, OPS of 944. Now, total-wise, Toronto saw overs in 8 out of their last 10 ball games. 6-1 of the over in their last 7 on the road. I like the Dodgers -145, over 9. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Nationals-Giants, 10:15 East. This game's currently off the board. Kai-Wei Tang possible for the Giants. Jake Irvin for Washington. And despite a winning record, Irvin's definitely allowed his fair share of runs. He's got an ERA close to 5, and that's allowed 9.4 hits a game as a staff. So it should come as no surprise when I tell you Washington's in the bottom 3 in runs allowed per game. And they're facing a Giants team who does not strike out a bunch at home. Pretty patient at the dish. San Francisco's in the top 5 in walks per contest in the box. Of course, as a team, the Giants got the W in 4 out of their last 6 outings. Winning record at Oracle Park. I like the Giants getting the job done for some money line cash. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. Give me Cincinnati plus $1, under 8.5. I like the over 9 in that A's-Orioles matchup. We're 5-0 in our last 5 crowd pleaser teasers on my premium page. Yankees plus $1, under 8.5. Tigers -1.5, over 7.5. Marlins plus $1, over 8. Guardians -160, under 9. Rangers plus $1.10, under 8. Twins -135, under 9. Brewers -$1.25, under 8. Cubs -145, over 8.5. Red Sox plus 1.5, over 8. Diamondbacks -1.5, over 9. Tampa Bay plus $1.10, under 8. Dodgers -145, over 9 runs. Give me the Giants getting the job done for some money line cash. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. Of course, that's why I always tell folks, that Gold Club membership, it's a full access, all-inclusive package. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. Of course, doing a decent job in the Gold Club package in itself. Had a pretty good week until the last couple of days. So looking to get, I would say, back on track. It hasn't been disastrous, but had a great, early week in the last couple of days. Not so great, not disastrous, but got to do a little bit better job than that. But anyway, folks, Most importantly, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. That's it, folks. Happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.